Hello and welcome to Teacher Needs a Drink podcast. I am Elvis, your host, and I'm here to let you know that this is a not safe for work podcast. We are teachers at the end of the week and really the end of our ropes, and we'd like to be able to talk honestly and openly about our jobs without having to worry about losing them. So we'll be using pseudonyms throughout the podcast, hence the Elvis. First thing I want to do is thank all of our Patreon patrons who support this podcast. We are kept going by you guys. It helps support us. It helps us, all the good stuff. Anyway, if you are interested in becoming a patron of Teacher Needs a Drink podcast, go to Patreon, and for as little as $5 to $10, you get access to a ton of extra exclusive episodes, content, interview with the host. We have a special Facebook group where you can meet other teachers. I've made several friends through there. It's really, really cool, and I recommend it. But let me support and shout out to all those who do support us. Here we go. Ms. Jody D, Samantha D, Lisa C, Rachel T, Rachel, Tarina, Exhausted Band Director, Kim K, Noel R, Alan H, Kim K, Jessica A, Swiffle Ev Owners, Amanda F, Ariana L, Physics Runner, Melissa V, Steph, Science Teach 17, Michael M, Kim C, William P, Sarah O, Aldrich T, The Scorpionita, Britt M, Tisha C, Teresa H, Biker Teach, Caitlin L, Marsha M, Weaza, Christina B, Miss Alabama, Kristen B, Hoovian, Ashley M, Jason F, Amber H, Abby B, Ann T, Sarah B, Regina F, Anna L, Josie S, Sam B, Lucy P, Mary E, Jamie B, Hope H, Aaron D, Kristen W, Vanessa J, Mary C, Rylan L, Catherine S, RJR, Kristen C, Johanna H, Tony and Christina K, Irma A, Nimi, Melissa M, and Sarah N. I'd like to thank all those people. They are very valuable. I love them and cherish them, and they help us keep going. Also, if you get a chance, help spread the word about Teacher Needs a Drink podcast. If you are just a broke teacher like most of us are, you can, just tell someone about the podcast. Tell one like-minded liberal teacher about something you heard. Or, you could leave a review. That's all. Just go to Apple Podcast or Spotify and just say you like it. Last up, I want to mention our sponsor, Ludlam Dramatics. If you are a theater teacher or you know a theater teacher in your building, go to ludlamdramatics.com, and they have all kinds of resources to help you out in the classroom. They have posters on just about every topic. So instead of explaining the same theater concept, you can literally just point to the wall and say, hey, dumbass, look up here. This is what I'm telling you. And they'll be like, oh, wow. And they'll cheer and lift you up on their shoulders and carry you around the room, and it will be amazing, and you will be celebrated. So go to ludlamdramatics.com. Okay, so we recorded this live at a theater conference. We actually did several sessions. There's one where it was like drunk at 2 a.m. in our hotel room. That's on the Patreon. And this originally was 1 hour long, and I ended up cutting just the first half and putting it on here. There's going to be another half of this that's going to be on the Patreon. So if you like this episode and want to hear more from Lady Dumass, or Captain Dumass, or Lady Shethead, or Miss Bo Peep, or Mr. Actright, or, Miss Sparkles who's here, go to the Patreon and you can hear more of this. I'll be posting it this week. All right, my friends, this is episode 121. Thank you so much for listening. Cheers and enjoy. We're doing it now.
I know.
It's going to happen.
I am aware.
God, you're such a bitch.
You're a bitch.
I am. All right, welcome to Teacher Needs a Drink podcast. I am Elvis, your host, and today I am joined by Miss Sparkles.
Hey, y'all.
And also we have a lot of new friends. We're at our teacher conference still. So today we have Lady Shethead.
Hello, everyone.
And Miss Bo Peep.
Hi there.
And Senor Actright.
Hey,
And Captain Dumass.
Sure, that sounds great.
That sounds great. Captain
great.
Dumass. Well, we're here. It's the tail ass end of January, and we've made it through, and we've been at a convention for the last 3 days, so I haven't had to teach since I taught Wednesday morning. But as soon as my classes were done, I came and drove down here the 4 hours and got here. And it's been really nice to not be in the classroom, and I have not really thought about my classroom at all. I left decent subplans. I have no urge to check. I'm like, hey, how'd it go? How'd they do? No, I'll find out when I get back. And
You left subplans?
I did leave subplans.
I did not leave subplans.
Well, it was for an elementary school, so I literally left like a bag of puppets and like, here's the story of the 3 little pigs. You got this.
Make it happen.
You can make it happen. So I'm excited about just not and having it off my clock. Sparkles, what about you? How are you doing? Because I got you into this convention because yeah, I did. Because I'm cool like that.
Yes, and I appreciate you for that. I will say, I
I like being at convention because I just like being with my friends and like having a good time and not being at work. I did leave subplans, but my subplans were like half a page, and it was like, their work's on Google Classroom. Don't let more than one kid leave the room at a time. Thanks. And like that was pretty much it. Like,
May God be with you.
and then I forgot to put their work on Google Classroom, so it's whatever. Oops. Sorry, guys.
I'm sure they're so disappointed.
Yeah, the kids must have been really bummed. Mm-hmm. But I'm okay. I would like to not go back to work on Monday, but
You haven't wanted to be at work at all this whole, like,
since January started.
since January. I'd say there was a certain point in the school year where you definitely did not want to be there anymore. But yeah, you're done.
I'm done teaching, y'all. Like, this is it. Like,
So
the second our district's like, hey, if you want to resign, if our district's one of those
they're not
districts
gonna
that's
do
like,
that.
if you want to resign, we'll give you $1,000 extra. I'll be like, hell yeah. I'm
they're
out.
like, we will give you jeans passes every Friday if you keep working here, please.
Oh,
I mean,
you act like I don't wear jeans every day anyway. What are they gonna do? Fire me?
Lady Shethead, how are you? What is that? It's like a non-flying noodle. Lady Shethead, how are you? What's going on? Did you have to do like lesson plans? Are you thinking about like what you left behind?
I am not thinking about it at all. I did make virtual lesson plans for them to log into to complete that I do not intend on looking at, except maybe just checking that they had a submission. I did have students already email me asking if they really had to do the work, but I have my vacation reminder on my email that says, do not bother me till next week. I will respond later. So I'm not really worrying about it. Going back to school next week, I think it's going to be fine. I actually do kind of like my job. I'm happy there. I'm happy at my school. But this convention's been a really great break from it. Mm-hmm. And so I really love seeing a lot of people. And I also just need that getaway no matter what.
Yeah. What about you, Miss Bo Peep?
It's been good. I also didn't really leave sub plans. We left a roster, and then people in our department are taking turns watching over our kids. But I mean, with how many kids are out, I don't know how much of a point there would be to leave them with stuff to do. I had an interesting situation right before coming here, like the very last class. Which, by the way, I have since tested negative, so I will preface with that.
Yay.
But I had a student who is one of my best and brightest messaged me on that app Remind and said, and I knew that her mom had, and she messaged me and she's like, hey, so I'm sick, but my parents want me to try to go to school, see if I can make it. And the district is letting me go back to school because I am vaccinated and I don't have a fever. Which, of course, like we know with Omicron
doesn't mean
nothing.
anything.
That doesn't mean anything at all. People don't get fevers with this all the time, and all the vaccinated people are getting sick right now. So, and she was going to be in my very last class before coming here, and in my after the school thing and everything that we don't want everyone to get sick with. So anyway, long story short, she came to my class. I sent her to the nurse. I got an email a few days later to that she was out for COVID.
Oh, surprise.
Yeah.
Shocker.
And so it was just a reminder that, like, yeah, the rules have not adjusted for Omicron, but I just didn't expect parents to be stupid. So.
Oh, no, that's a given.
That's so sweet that you didn't expect that.
It's like being surprised when people don't read the directions. I mean, it's just one of those like, oh, you just jumped to the, okay,
No,
sure.
I don't like being that harsh.
Now, I'm making it very clear that I am not doing work stuff until Monday. It's not I get back Sunday and I start responding to emails Sunday evening. No, I will. And I'm in a good spot. Captain Dumass, what about you? How's it been?
I'm good. We just finished a major project on our campus. So I haven't been teaching since Christmas break. I've been at school. I've been working. I've been at school till 9 or 10 o'clock every night.
Yeah.
But it's nice for that to be done. My body is not yelling at me anymore. I'm not falling asleep in the car on the way home.
Oh, that's dangerous.
So we're great, and we're here, and we're on vacation, and it's been fantastic.
Good.
How far do you live from your school?
Less than 10 minutes.
Okay, thank God.
Technically, it is a 12-minute drive if you go the speed limit.
But you got to save those 2 minutes.
Yes.
I don't drive the speed limit. 10 over my minimum.
It's a
All the amazing
recommendation.
things you've done with those 2 minutes.
Mhm.
Hey, that's two extra minutes. That's 2 extra
No, think
minutes
about
of
it.
sleep.
2 minutes twice. That's 4 minutes. 5 times a week. That's 20 minutes. A month.
Adds up.
That's 80 minutes. That's like what 4 episodes
you
of The
just
Office? Like, come on.
Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I can't.
Why are we doing math on this convention?
There is a reason why I am not a math teacher, and it's because I suck at math.
All right, so now we have something we haven't had in a long, long time on the podcast. We have a vignette, and this was from the Reddits, from the teacher subreddit, and from user Baruch_S, and it's titled, Did You Contact Home? And so as playing the part of admin, we have Lady Shethead, and playing the part of the teacher is Captain Dumass. So when you are ready, lights up.
You gave a student an F. Did you contact home?
Yes, I sent multiple emails. They're in my sent folder.
Did the parents respond?
No,
Well, then you should have called home.
I did.
How many times?
3, at least 3.
Did they answer?
No.
Well, then you should have.
30 minutes of wasted prep time and a list of dozen increasingly absurd and archaic methods of communication suggested later.
You need to try harder to contact home. Parents have to know their student is failing. You'll have to give the kid another chance to do the whole semester's work. Talk to the student who never shows up to class and figure out how you can reteach an entire semester of content one-on-one during your planning periods.
Yeah, that's a little painful. I don't have it that bad. And I know there's a lot of schools that have, like, you can attempt to document calling home twice. And if they don't answer, then God with them. What about you?
I've gotten to the point I don't call home unless it's an emergency. I actually made it like in Texas, we have to have these goals for a teacher every year. And so my goal this year is communication. So one of the things I'm doing is I'm sending a weekly email home to every single parent once a week. And that the email documents, this is what we did this week. These are the grades you need to check for your kid. Here is my email. Here is my conference. If you need anything, let me know. Also, by the way, here's what our department is doing. If you want to get involved, here's how you can get involved. And then that goes out to every single parent and every single grandparent, every single anyone
Whoever's
who's
on their contact list.
Yes. And so I've had one parent complain this year, and my admin actually backed me up. They're like, you have the proof that you sent this stuff here. That parent didn't put their email on there. That's on them. And they 100% supported me.
Well, I was wondering if, like, you haven't, and they're like, okay, well, you need to check their grades. They're posted here. So if you have an issue with their grades, then you can deal with it. It's not my job to reach out and say, hey, Sonny didn't do this work. Or
So we did do a project right before Thanksgiving. And I put in the email to every parent, only a third of the kids in the classes did the project. They had 2 weeks. Make sure you check your kids' stuff. I'm going to give them 3 extra days after that.
to get it done.
SOL, sorry, you're on your own. And I had maybe 5 parents reach out. Those kids turned their stuff in. And after that, it was 4 zeros in the computer. But I had it documented.
Yeah, parents have generally been cool with me, but they just seem really resigned too. Like I've one of the first calls I ever made to, I was like, yeah, I'm a single dad. I'm really trying to. That kid ended up doing a little better, too, and that was a happy thing too. Then another one too, I talked to the mom. He's like, yeah, it's the same thing at home. And I think part of working with teenagers, like there's not much that they can. So we're both just kind of like scratching our heads, being like, we'll keep trying, we'll keep pushing them, but you can lead a horse to water, but you can't always make them drink.
I find I get that with like the first contact or second contact over an issue, but if there ever is like third, or if it's a repeating thing where I have to contact the parent about behavior, like, what this time? I'm just like, the veil kind of drops.
That just like they're like, so this is Miss Bo Peep, and it's like, like just the immediate sigh.
Have any of you called a parent and the parent gave you the wrong number?
I have had the numbers of the actual students. And so I'm calling to contact a parent, and then it's the student's personal cell phone. And
What
then
number
they
were you-
answer, and it's immediately panic and hang up on me.
What number were you given?
It was, I don't know who it was. So it was in our system, like in the school's official system.
Uh-huh.
So I went on there and I pull up the students, like demographic card or whatever with their address and everything. And I'm boop, boop, boop. And I called the number that is listed that was put in by the parent. And the lady who answered, I guess, because this child was not very well behaved. So I guess everybody had been calling this poor lady, because by the time I called her, she screamed at me through the phone and she said, I am not this person. And she hung up on me and I was like, and I emailed like the assistant principal over that student. I was like, y'all, we have to get the correct phone number for this parent because this poor woman just yelled at me. And like, I can't blame her because she's getting phone calls about some kids, not even her fucking kid.
I did have that same issue this year, but it was through email. It's like, you were the 5th teacher to email me. This is not my student. Will you please take care of it? And I just went straight to that counselor and they like erased it that second. It wasn't hard at all.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the other 4 teachers did.
When I was student teaching, I had a kid in class
Is
called...
that back with the dinosaurs?
Oh, it wasn't that long ago. There was electricity and email. Cell phones were a thing. But there was a kid who called another kid in the class a buck-toothed asshole. And I was like, you can't...
Was he?
Yes. But that's where it
But that's not the point.
But that's not the point. And so I'm giving you an office referral because we don't yell that out in the middle of class because it was like, sit down, you buck-tooth asshole. Because the kid was up in the front of the
I
class.
had something similar. I had a kid yell at another kid this year saying, get out of my seat, you Oompa Loompa.
Sometimes you have to laugh. But his mom was already at the school turning in some paperwork for something unrelated. And so I took him into the office and the AP's there and she's like, really? What's going on? And I was like, why don't you know? He goes, I called whatever the kid's name, a buck-tooth asshole. And she goes, he is. And the mom started cackling and laughing. And I was like,
Oh my God.
what am I
And this
going
is why
to do?
you are like this.
Yeah. She's
This
like,
is
is that the
why-
boy you brought over a week ago? He is. And I'm like, oh God.
Like, ma'am, you can't say that in the front office
Yeah.
about another child. Like, come on, Jesus.
I have no artillery here. And
lost.
I have nothing. There's nothing I can do without parental support at this point because the kid doesn't give a shit. The parents aren't going to do anything. And yeah, it was kind of over right then. But whoo.
All right. So this is from the Reddits. User Sadie789. Title, Students Called Me Ugly and Annoying. To preface, I'm a new teacher, so maybe I'm just not used to this. But another student told me today, another student
Oh God.
told me today that kids have been saying I'm ugly, annoying, and the worst teacher they've had. I've never been anything but kind, supportive, and helpful to them, and I honestly feel like crying. I've given them 110% of my energy and love. One of the kids behind it has severe anger issues, and the other kids follow in line behind him. These comments happened after I told him to stop teasing another boy. I know I shouldn't take it personally, but it genuinely hurts.
Oh, I feel bad for her. So I'm not going to make the jokes about just wear
I
a bag
know.
on
Now
your head
I'm
to go
like,
to work.
oh.
But I feel bad. And it's no fun. But the thing is, you can usually brush off when kids say stupid things because
Yes.
they're just stupid kids. And honestly, they do stupid things all the
Opinions
time.
of children do not matter to me with multiple degrees.
No,
Yeah.
it comes a point where I really don't care what they say. But I can see if you're having a really crap day, and that's more than just like, you suck. It's kind of a very personal attack.
Like everybody has been saying that all these terrible things.
Yeah, and that's a very personal one. So I could see you being wounded and weak from that, but you just got to ignore it.
Although, can I read this comment that's underneath it real quick? 'Cause
Yeah,
it's so
do
funny. Somebody replied in quotes. So like, this is what the teacher should say. If I'm so ugly and annoying, why won't your mom stop calling me?
I love it.
That's so good.
I'm guessing these are very young children.
This sounds
Maybe
like
we'll
a
just-
fifth, sixth grade
Yeah.
behavior to me.
Because I don't think high schoolers would do that.
No.
And I honestly don't think middle schoolers would either. You might get someone who's really immature say, but that sounds like an elementary thing.
Yeah.
And I don't care what elementary kids say because they can't really function as humans yet.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you have I have a kid who is very, very on the spectrum. One day he was like, Mr. Elvis, your belly is
big. It's like a balloon. And I was like, oh, yeah, thanks. And then some other kid was like, why is your belly big? I'm like, shut the fuck up and go to the office. You don't have an excuse. You're just a dick. And this other kid, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, though, is like if these are elementary kids, depending on the age, they don't have filters when they're little because you are not born with one. Mm-hmm. And so it's very easy for a third grader to be like, she's just mean and ugly and annoying. I don't like her. Mm-hmm. And they'll just say it because they don't give a fuck.
The most common thing I hear is kids will come up to me and they'll ask me, Miss, are you sick today? You look sick. Is something wrong? And I'm just like, no, I'm just not wearing makeup today.
So go fuck yourself.
See,
and they're not being malicious. Like they're coming up to me with concern, not malice, but they also don't have the filter or the forethought to think that it's not nice to tell someone that they look
sick and tired.
Yeah.
Mm. It's because we are sick and tired of you.
Of you.
Of you.
I'm sick and tired of your face.
You're the reason. But you have to have a thick skin if you're going to be a teacher because you're not going to have shit like that all the time. But there's going to be so much just wearing down where you have to learn to let shit just roll off your back or else. I mean, like the crappy thing the teacher down the hall says or the secretary being snippy. You can't take it personally.
In the immortal words of Jinx Monsoon, it's got to be water off a duck's back.
Hey guys, guess what?
What?
We have a Patreon! Yay! That's right. For as little as $5, $10 a month, you can join our Patreon and get access to all kinds of exclusive content and behind-the-scenes interviews. You can learn more about these new hosts we have. We released just an episode that we recorded live last night at like 1 a.m. It's on the Patreon right now. And there's all kinds of stuff. We'll be doing watch parties, and it's just a blast. So join our Patreon. Do it now! Woohoo! Yay! Would you rather listen to one song for the rest of your life or never be allowed to listen to the same song twice? This one's easy to me. I would 100% never take the same song twice because even my favorite song, if I listen to it over and over again, I'm going to start hating that song. I had a alarm clock when I was growing up that could play like any song you want when it like to go off. And I remember I really liked Van Morrison, so I chose Brown Eyed Girl. And after about 4 days, I hate the opening notes of Brown Eyed Girl more than anything else because that was what was waking me. It was like, doo, doo, doo. It's like, no, stop, shut up. And so no, if I would rather have a large variety of music that's unpredictable in my life than just have one song that never
you realize
ever stops.
All I want to do now is find that song and walk up behind you and see you have a Vietnam flashback in the middle of
No! I've been sleeping for 30 years.
You wake up and you're 12 again.
That would be the worst.
So, Captain Dumass, what about you?
I'm right there with you. I could not listen to one song forever. So I would listen to a song once and never get to listen to it again. Mm-hmm. There's so much music out there. Like there's not any one song that I would ever just truly miss or be hung on to.
Yeah.
So
there's things I'd miss. And there's times you hear that really good song for the first time, so you play it like 6 times in a row.
But you wouldn't know that you missed it because you only heard it once, and then 3 or 4 songs later, there would be something else you liked.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you? Act right?
The second choice. Being able to hear multiple songs rather than just one. I feel like I would go insane.
Yeah. Bo Peep?
I think I agree. The only problem with it is, when you get a song stuck in your head and it's usually like the same 2 verses, like again and again. And the only way you can make it stop is by listening to the song again. I feel like I would be perpetually plagued by that. So, but at the same time, I would get absolutely sick of that one song and just
could you burn it all down?
Yeah,
could you write your own music?
Anarchy.
I guess if you had the talent for it.
Yeah. Huh.
But if you wrote
that song, would you immediately forget it afterwards?
That would be my question. That would be like my what you call it? Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, going back, like trying to hold on to this song. Like I'm just gonna keep this song in my head. I gotta hold on. Don't forget this. Don't forget this. Don't, and it's gone. Lady Shethead, what about you?
I would have to have the variety of music in my life. And I think I could make up for missing songs by making mashups. Because that's what I love on TikTok right now are the mashups. And I think that even if I only heard one song once, I could just make my own music based off of what I had heard. And that would satisfy my creative outlet.
You change it slightly, then it's a different song.
So you get like the cover band version. So last night, after we had our late night epic whatever, there was a song I really liked to hear. It was Christmas Card from a Hooker in Minneapolis. It's a Tom Waits song, and I really, really like it a lot. And it's like a slow time piano thing. And so I typed it into Spotify, and of course with Spotify, you'll get like the artist, the live version, you'll get like whoever has covered the song. Of course, it's a famous song that's 40 years old, so there was all kinds of covers. So I ended up sitting there listening to like 8 different versions of the song. Like, I like this one. It's like, I don't like Miko Case, but I like whoever this guy was. And it was my jam. So I like the idea of just not the same performance of the song again. I'll take that loophole. I'll
like
go for it.
Because you got 8 versions, and so you got to stagger them out the rest of your life.
And every now and then, like, okay, now here's the Bollywood version of the song. I'm like, all right, here we go. Sparkles, what about you?
It's hard for me.
It's going to be Rebecca Black's Friday.
No.
For the rest of your life.
If I was gonna have to take the first option, it would be a Beyonce song.
No.
First of all,
it's Humpty Dance nonstop.
I'm sorry. Do you see my laptop? It's Dolly or Beyonce. It's gonna be one of those two.
You gotta get Joe's Like a Pickle.
It's gonna be Jolene forever. I could rock out to Jolene forever.
Here's the thing: if I do have to listen to one song forever, it's gonna need to be a longer song that has variations. Like where it's like this speed for a little bit,
like
and then there's like a
20-minute long classic piece.
No, but okay, say you get a song like I just thought of
Stairway to Heaven.
I could just Stairway to Heaven, where it's quiet part, it has a loud section. Humpty Dance, you have the rap, and then you have just like 2 minutes of the or November Rain for Guns N' Roses, where it's like this, and like, oh, the song's changing right now, and now it's something else. I do not want to hear those songs every day from the last
you know what would be
life.
a great song to listen to every day for the rest of your life?
Rebecca Black's Friday?
No, Purple Rain.
Okay, so...
Yeah.
I think I'd have to choose something instrumental, like from Explosions in the Sky. That way it's a really nice long song, but it can be turned down, but it could be amplified. It's got a whole lot of, like what you were saying, variation in it.
Some of the old Smashing Pumpkins stuff I could have done like that, where it was longer and had different things. All right, friends. Well, thank you for listening to another episode of Teacher Needs a Drink podcast. I'd like to thank all my hosts who are here. Captain Dumass, thank you for joining me today.
Whoop, whoop. This was fun.
And also Mr. Act Right.
Thank you. Okay.
And Miss Bo Peep.
My pleasure.
And Lady Shethead.
Have a wonderful rest of your day.
And of course, Miss Sparkles.
Bye, y'all.
All right, guys. Deep breaths, deep drinks. Cheers! Woo! Yay!
All right, friends, thanks for joining us for another episode of Teacher Needs a Drink podcast. Teacher Needs a Drink podcast comes out every Wednesday, and if you have something you'd like to share with us, hit us up through the contact page of our website at teacherneedsadrinkpodcast.com. I'd like to thank my host at the teacher conference who joined me in the middle of the night to help me out, Miss Lady Shethead, Miss Bo Peep, Captain Act Right, Captain Dumass, Miss Sparkles. I was so happy to get to hang out with you guys. If you enjoyed this, there's like another 20 minutes of this that I'm going to be putting on the Patreon later this week. And you too can join the Patreon and hear lots of exclusive episodes, extra content. There's one session that we did where it really was 2 a.m. in the hotel room with like 4 other people. Actually, Miss Bo Peep and Mr. Act Right were there with me. So you get to hear more from them if you want to listen to that. And there's some really cool stuff on there. All right, my friends, I'd like to thank my sponsor, Ludlam Dramatics. If you need any educational theater stuff, go to there. All right, my friends, deep breaths, deep drinks, take care of yourselves, take care of your mental health. Make sure if you need help, if you're burning out, talk to someone. Therapy is covered by your health insurance. And also, talk to your friends. Don't hold it in. All right, friends, love, cheers.